and reinforced learning. And I will say that that's a huge part. Please use that as much as you can. And of course, the person we're going to hear from today is our esteemed faculty member and lead really for the paralegal certificate program, and that is Dr. Tammi Clearfield. I'm so happy to hear from Dr. Tammi Clearfield. She is the person with all the information, has put in that blood, sweat, and tear into this program, has seen it from the ground up. So again, for those of you attending, please ask your questions. Dr. Tammi Clearfield, there's a lot on the screen here about you and your experience, but I think it's best to hear it from you directly. You've been with us for quite some time. So Dr. Tammi Clearfield, I'm going to hand it off to you, and please share your experience with us.
Hello, everybody, and thanks very much for your interest today in the University of Miami's Paralegal Certificate Program. Just really quickly, a bit about me. I have been committed to higher education throughout my entire law career, which is 25 years, including teaching on ground, virtually, curriculum development, and a whole host of other different areas connected with the legal profession. I have a particular warmness in my heart for paralegals because being a practicing attorney of 25 years, I recognize how integral they are to us being able to do our jobs. So basically, without a great paralegal team, it makes a lawyer's job a lot more challenging. And the flip side is, when you do have a great paralegal, it makes your job so much easier and it makes it really a solid team experience, which ultimately benefits everybody, all of the stakeholders, including the lawyers, paralegals, and of course the clients who we serve. So let's talk a bit about the University of Miami's paralegal program and what really sets this program so far apart from some of the other paralegal education options. First of all, and central, this program prepares you to leave University of Miami's doors, whether they be virtual or brick and mortar, which in COVIDville is really virtual as well right now, to transition into the legal community and really make an impactful difference with what your skill set is from the moment you leave University of Miami. And again, these are challenging times. We all know that we are in unprecedented times for our society. Safety is paramount, which is why we've transitioned to everything being virtual. With that said, we are still offering 2 versions of the program. So we are doing our live session, even though it is remote because of the severity of COVID. But there are still live classes taught by our team of very well qualified, very well credentialed legal professionals, as would be the case if you were in a classroom face-to-face. And we have our online option as well. The learning in both of those programs is identical. So whether you opt for the fully online program or you opt for the live program, your finish line skill set and readiness to make that transition from the university into the workplace is an identical learning experience. So this program prepares participants to successfully work as paralegals. That word successful is a really important word because what is successful is skill focused. So whether you're coming in straight out of high school, whether you're coming in having worked in different capacities in a law office, whether you were a practicing lawyer in another country coming to the United States and looking to break in, whether you are somebody who's exploring the possibility of going to law school down the road and you want to learn more about the law, or whether you are a career changer and you want to make the transition to work as a paralegal, this program will work for you and then some. So it is designed to teach you the language of the law, to give you that foundation just like you're building a house. We know that when you build a house, there are lots of requirements to make it solid and that the foundation has to be structurally sound in order for you to support the remainder of the construction. That's very much the approach that we've taken in the University of Miami's paralegal program. We give you that core solid foundation in terms terms of the ability to build upon that foundation and really make sure that you are clear on those core foundational areas to serve as the building block. Then we continue to build layer by layer as we enhance your skills, expand your knowledge, and give you the ability to showcase your skill set every step of the way. So it really is very much a building block approach, focused on that skill-based focus that makes you that valuable asset to the lawyer. Another key differentiator between University of Miami's paralegal program and some of the other learning options that are out there is the expansive exposure you get to the substantive areas of the law. So the curriculum at University of Miami is written for paralegals. So the 14 substantive law areas that you cover, you will cover in a way that focuses on what a paralegal needs to know about criminal law, wills, trusts, and estates, bankruptcy law, labor law, contract law, and a litany of other areas of law. So that curriculum, that content, and the platform learning resources are specifically targeted to educate you and give you hands-on skills in those areas of law. Why is that important? Well, depending on where you land from a work standpoint, having that base knowledge about so many different areas of law will make you more marketable. It will also make you more confident, and it will make you more prepared as you enter the workforce. From the standpoint of showcasing your skill set in the job application process, your virtual portfolio, your digital portfolio, which we'll talk about in a bit, will contain advanced skills showcased for one client that you carry all the way through your foundations learning, and skills in all of those substantive areas of law, because you will be doing application-based assignments for all of those areas. It makes your portfolio very expansive, it makes you very marketable, and it makes you very prepared to work in that law office setting. So let's talk more specifically about some of the learning that takes place. The program is structured into two main areas: foundations, which is where your core learning takes place, and then you transition to those 14 substantive areas of law broken out into blocks. In foundations, you learn the role of the paralegal, the legal system, terminology, substantive and procedural law, ethics, which is a cornerstone. Lawyers are bound by the Florida Bar Rules of Ethics. We get sanctioned and are ultimately responsible for what our paralegal does or doesn't do, which means from the standpoint of a lawyer, it's really important to us to know that you understand ethical parameters that could pertain to not engaging in the unauthorized or unlicensed practice of law, understanding parameters, understanding limitations, understanding what can and can't be said. That's all taught in this program. Conflict checking is part of ethics. It's part of making sure that you don't end up on both sides of the case, that there's no prior relationship with clients that could conflict your firm out of a case. And paralegals are heavily involved in conflict checking, case screening, and preliminary information gathering and client interviewing. We prepare you to take on those roles. Technology, software, calendaring, billing, all of those things are digital, especially with what's going on with COVID and everything else. We've seen a lot more technology utilized in the courtroom process than we ever have before. So separate and apart from where we are with e-filing, we're seeing a whole new level of technology. That, of course, brings a whole new level of complications. What do the rules say? How do we make sure we're still adhering to those procedural rules in a day and age where we can't be face-to-face for safety, for health reasons? So these are all adjustments in the legal profession. You will learn legal research, writing, and analysis. Again, key to a successful paralegal. Again, another differentiator for University of Miami's paralegal certificate program. The two main real-time legal research databases are Lexis and Westlaw. Those two databases have hot-off-the-press cases when Courts rule, they are available on Lexis and Westlaw. They are the only two real-time legal research databases, and they are utilized by the vast majority of law firms. You, as part of the paralegal program at University of Miami, will be given login information to both Lexis and Westlaw, and you will be able to demonstrate proficiencies in both areas with certificates of proficiencies earned separate from your University of Miami paralegal certificate, which will make you very marketable, because a firm knowing that you know how to use both Lexis and Westlaw, that means that as a lawyer, I don't have to train you in those two real-time legal research databases. It means that you know how to use them, and you can slide right in and start doing exciting work, which is also more rewarding to you as a paralegal versus all of those preliminary learning steps that you might not otherwise have to do because of your qualifications and skill set when you leave University of Miami. You're going to learn how to cite. So we all know APA and MLA. Well, in law, it's completely different. It's Blue Book. We teach you how to cite correctly. It doesn't matter so much at the trial level. It matters very much at the appellate level, and it matters meticulously at the Supreme Court level. Your cites are wrong, your margins are wrong, your briefs aren't accepted. So those are all really important learning areas for you, the paralegal. You're going to learn about the litigation process from start to finish. You're going to complete hands-on assignments to showcase your learning for clients. You'll be able to compile those at the finish line in your digital portfolio, and we help you with job searches and resume writing as well. Again, those 14 substantive areas of law appear on your screen under law blocks. They're grouped in similar connection areas. So you'll have one client for law block 1 that has a tort legal issue, a contract legal issue, and a business legal issue. That's actually very common. Same with law block 2. It could be that a client comes in with a real estate issue, a foreclosure issue, and is on the brink of bankruptcy. Law block 3, same thing, connections between elder and healthcare law, wills, trusts, and estates, and family law. And law block 4, employment, workers' comp, immigration, and criminal are often connected as well. So let's talk about another differentiator for University of Miami's paralegal program. This program is really interactive. It's very linked together, and it is very fun because honestly, learning can be fun, and it can also be impactful at the same time. So the virtual paralegal zone is designed to be an interactive learning interface that makes your learning fun because it brings learning to life. It allows you to always understand and connect what you're learning, and it accounts for all of the different learning styles because not everybody learns the same. So there's interactives, vignettes, scenarios, drag and drops, spinning wheels, all kinds of really neat ways to reinforce your learning. The ebook, which is proprietary to University of Miami, is digital as well. It's fully searchable. And again, it is written specifically to the content for the paralegal program at the University of Miami. So these icons that you see on your screen are anchor icons. Every time you're learning some of those core areas, you'll see those icons, so you'll be able to make that visual reference as you're working your way through the platform and the digital reading materials. So again, welcome to the virtual paralegal zone. It's virtual, it's fun, it's interactive, it's cutting edge, and it's your path that extends beyond the classroom into this online learning experience that involves resources, documents, interactives, extensive supplemental resources to help you, and virtual skills centers in the core areas. So here's an example of one of the pages that you'll see in the VPZ, which is the virtual paralegal zone. This is the virtual paralegal office. Here you'll find your e-chapters, which align with those foundations areas and the law block areas that I just tracked you through. You'll also find your PowerPoints if you take the live version, and if you take the online version, there are pre-recorded lectures utilizing the same content in the PowerPoints as the live version we'll see here. This is an example of what a few pages in the ebook looks like. It's designed in a very clean, readable way. You're able to download it, search it, save it. You'll see the case connections, the call-outs like notables and quotables, some core rules. They're all embedded in here, and this all correlates with the supplemental resources on the platform. Your virtual conference room is your gateway to your virtual clients. So everybody will be assigned a supervising attorney. Your supervising attorney will be the one who assigns you with your clients. Your clients are the clients that you will be working on those written assignments for foundations, showcasing the core and more advanced skills, and for law blocks, showcasing those base level skills in those 14 substantive areas of law. It's also where you access your assignments and your tests. This is an example of the supervising attorneys and a client file. So along the top left side, you see all of the supervising attorneys. Everybody will be assigned one of those attorneys. Then you have your 5 clients that you're assigned to work on. All of the templates are embedded in here, so you'll see in blue on the bottom screenshot, document templates. Those Word files that you see displayed on the right-hand side, those are all of the templates that are loaded for you for your foundations client. So you're given the scenario and you're given the templates. As you work your way through the learning, these assignments are assigned to you. You prepare them, you submit them. Your instructor, who's a practicing lawyer or a judge or a magistrate, will provide you with feedback so that you can edit those files and make them the best possible to showcase your skill set at the finish line. So some examples for foundations client legal work. You'll be doing client interviewing, preparing a demand letter, preparing a complaint and summons to initiate the litigation process, preparing discovery to a party, which is the information gathering stage of the case, discovery to a non-party. You'll be preparing a complex motion and a brief and notice of appeal. There you'll be showcasing your legal research skill set. You prepare the more complicated assignments towards the finish line of your foundations portion of your studies, where you're proficient in both Lexis and Westlaw. This is an example of what you'll see for a law block assignment. So just like we communicate so often in a law office, even if my paralegal is sitting one office away from me, I typically email her. So it might be that I'll say, hey, Jessica, it's time at this point for us to move forward and prepare the discovery on the Rodriguez divorce. So go ahead and prepare interrogatories and a request for production on that case, and use the Simmons case as a good starting point from a form standpoint, because there are similar issues in that case. Send the draft back to me by email, and I'll take a look at it and put my edits in. You get your assignments the same way in the paralegal program here. So this is an example of the way you'd receive that assignment. As I shared earlier, there are extensive resources, and the platform is set up in a very easily navigatable manner, so it's very intuitive. You don't have to be super proficient with technology to feel comfortable working your way through the virtual paralegal zone. What you see here is the VPZ navigation hub. Everything that's a cog is clickable. You see FAQs. Those are commonly asked student questions to help you in case you have a similar question. That e-portfolio is that digital compilation of your skill set that you'll be putting all of your work into. At the finish line of the program, you'll be able to generate a link. You can share that link with a potential employer in an email format. And you're also, after you finish the program, still able to continue to make adjustments and updates to your e-portfolio. Web-based study support, when you click on that blue cog, it opens you up to extensive study support. The research centers, you have a virtual research center that provides supplemental material to help you with your legal research learning, a virtual writing center that does the same for you with writing, and a virtual career center that will help you in terms of resumes and potential job direction. The consolidated practice questions are the tools to help you prepare for the graded exam. They correspond with all of the different chapters in the ebook. When it comes to your learning in the program, you will always know what you're going to learn and how you're going to learn it before you start digging in and actually learning. So the objectives are the proficiencies that you'll be able to demonstrate at each chapter's finish line. They're all very visible, very transparent for you, very clear. Those correspond with the outline, and then once you move forward, you move into the detail that reverts back to those core learning areas. So this is just one example of that in motion. Again, these are all screenshots from either the VPZ or the ebook. So here's an example of the icon. Here you're learning about that language of the law with definitions. So when you see that puzzle piece, it anchors back to that initial legend that I shared with you at the outset. You click on the icon and you can review the interactive glossary. There you'll find terminology definitions to help you as you're learning to speak that language of law that I referred to at the outset. This is another example of an interactive, so it's an example showcasing paralegal tasks, clicking through what they are and focusing more on what each task might encompass for the paralegal. This is also another example of an interactive. You spin the wheel, wherever it lands, you learn more about that particular component. This is connected to learning about some of those core areas of how we break our law out and how we categorize our law. This interactive is packed with some amazingly helpful information. So it starts off with a visual that diagrams the different pieces, and then it shows you the intersection. Again, these are some of those core learning areas. Sometimes visualizing the connection makes it easier to understand the interrelationships. So we try to incorporate those where possible if it would help you with that visualization. Here's another one. Everything in the law is element focused, and we find those elements in our statutes. Those elements are the pieces. So I like to refer to them as like puzzle pieces, and if you're missing a puzzle piece, then you can't put the entire puzzle together, where it's the same way in law. So if you're missing a piece, being an element, you either can't get a conviction in a criminal case, which has that higher proof standard, or you can't recover and get the relief that you're looking for in a civil case. So all of the elements have to be present to the requisite standard of proof to be able to get the outcome you're looking for at that finish line. So those elements are found in statutes, and those statutes are broken down into pieces. So this visual, which is in the interactives, teaches you how to break those statutes down into those pieces or components. And then again, this is a narrated vignette teaching you about ethics, which I mentioned earlier is a cornerstone of what we do. Lots of virtual resources to support your learning, including information contained in the template to track you through where to make your edits. The idea behind giving you things like templates and practice questions is that you're learning. You're not expected to know all of this material to where you could just pick up a client file and pick up some blank forms and move forward. So we step you through every process to teach you what will enable you to do that at the finish line. But we recognize that when you come to the University of Miami, you don't know how to do that just yet. So we give you all of the tools to make sure that you're successful in your learning to be able to reach that certificate finish line. In these file cabinets, more resources, lots of great forms, additional forms beyond what you can access in the templates and beyond what you can access in Lexis and Westlaw, which is extensive in terms of forms and supplemental materials. Every one of those file cabinets opens, and there's lots of great resources located in there. As I mentioned earlier, legal research, you will get passwords and usernames to Lexis Advanced and Westlaw, both cutting-edge legal research platforms with real-time releases of cases, proficiencies that you'll be able to demonstrate at the program finish line to help you be marketable as you transition to work in the legal profession. So these are just a few screenshots of what you see in those proficiency areas as you're learning how to navigate through Lexis and Westlaw. So these proficiency demonstrations that you're able to do are completed after you've clicked through a series of learning tools provided by Lexis and by Westlaw to help you understand how to utilize those databases and how to navigate them in a way that's efficient and effective. This is another one of those Career Center tools that we have in place for you. This is an interactive to help you prepare to interview. Again, these are optional tools. They are there for you, and they are accessible to you so that you can go in and navigate through them and use them as you feel you need to. As I mentioned at the outset, at the finish line, you are able to compile your skills that you've demonstrated in the preparation of your written work and your legal research proficiencies, and compile all of those demonstrations of your abilities and skills into your virtual portfolio. That's the link that you'll be able to share at the finish line of the program. And as with all of the chapters in the Learning at the University of Miami's Paralegal Certificate Program, we also have program level objectives. So at the finish line of the paralegal program, after you've made it through foundations and all of those law blocks, you will be proficient and be able to apply ethics rules in the legal environment, navigate procedural rules for case management and compliance, conduct electronic legal research using Lexis and Westlaw, construct legal analysis based on law interpretation, draft legal documents, use legal technology, explore key components of those 14 substantive areas of law, and demonstrate fundamental and substantive specific skill sets associated with career readiness. So many students intend to or ultimately end up moving in a career direction that is consistent with a particular area of law. Maybe it's something they're passionate about, maybe it's something they fall into and really enjoy, or maybe it's an advancement opportunity for their career to where they choose to move in one specific sector or track. So as I mentioned earlier, the program is focused on and based around core skill-based learning. That skill-based learning is transferable to all of the different areas of law, and the 14 substantive areas of law that you'll be learning about give you introductory knowledge to be able to understand what you're seeing and prepare basic work in all of those 14 substantive areas of law. If you know that you want to move in the direction of a particular area of law, the university has concentration certificate programs. Those online program offerings will entrench you in more advanced learning in these areas of law. So they're offered in immigration, litigation, contracts, torts, alternative dispute resolution, wills, trusts and estates, real estate, business, bankruptcy, criminal law, intellectual property, entertainment, family, and employment law. So you will learn advanced legal research skills specific to those particular areas of law, and in advanced writing and research connected to those areas as you learn fully about those particular areas of law. So if you're interested after you complete the paralegal program in tracking and learning more about a particular area of law, the university does have those offerings available to you. And a solid application-based paralegal education will open the door to many opportunities in a field of projected growth over the next 7 years. Definitely great job opportunities, definitely great ways to track your career, really lucrative career options. You can do so many different things with this certificate, really generate a great income for you and your family, really use it as a foundation to build upon for the future. And there's so many different directions that you can take your career in. You might choose to go public sector. You might choose to go to work for the government, the county attorney's office, the state attorney's office, the U.S. attorney's office, the city attorney's office. You might choose to go in-house for a corporation, Royal Caribbean, Burger King, McDonald's. They all have in-house legal departments. So do a lot of large companies, and they use paralegals extensively. You might want to go to a small firm, a mid-sized firm, a large firm. You might want to go to an area that does patent work and has an in-house legal department. There are so many different places you could go in terms of public and private sector and really do well from a salary standpoint. So the growth rate for paralegals is growing. The career opportunities are as well. The salaries are as well. So there are definitely great opportunities after making a short commitment of just 4 months of study to be able to leave the University of Miami and make that transition into the workforce with that level of confidence that I shared with you you'll have with your digital portfolio in hand to really be able to showcase your skill set. The lawyers in our community are well aware of how capable the University of Miami's paralegal certificate graduates are, which is why they so often seek out our graduates, because they know that they're capable of coming into their law practices, hitting the ground running with very little mentoring and training involved, which is great for the paralegal because it means that they're doing exciting work that's impactful to a client at the very start, and also great for the lawyer because it allows the lawyer to keep going, keep moving forward, and keep those cases moving. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Teddy, and we will both be here, of course, as we reach our finish line for our information session to answer any questions that anybody has. So again, thank you for your time and your interest. Teddy?
Thank you so much, Tammy. And I know that that was a lot of information, and it's really pertinent to hear directly from you, Tammy, because you know these details, you know all the information inside and out. And for all of you here, as you can see, it gets very complicated, this paralegal field. So that's why this sort of training is really crucial to succeed in the field. So, you know, we pride ourselves in that quality that you receive, the training that you receive. So, you know, if you all are ready, I'm sure some of you are on the fence trying to figure out if this is the right fit. Hopefully you've learned everything you needed, and hopefully you're ready to make that commitment. Now, I'm going to explain the courses that we have available, and it's very simple in terms of these sections. So we're going to break it up into two. Now, for those of you looking for this traditional paralegal comprehensive course, we do have two different formats. We have the 4-month course, which starts September 21st, runs until January 25th. That is Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And again, that is fully remote or online through Zoom or an online platform. But that is a live class. So that's as if you were sitting in a classroom, listening to the instructor at a certain time each week, except instead of sitting in a classroom, you are sitting maybe at home or in a safe location using your cell phone or computer or smart device or what have you to access the platform. Now, that is great for those of you that like the instructor-led learning format, but we do have another format that's a bit more flexible and is for those that need something more flexible and something a bit more lenient in terms of deadlines and whatnot. So we do have the online paralegal certificate format, which is asynchronous. And what that means is this course starts on the 1st of each month. So instead of starting September 21st, the online paralegal asynchronous courses start on the 1st of each month. So the next one is September 1st, then October 1st, so on and so forth. Now that course, you are basically given a schedule that is about 6 months. So instead of the 4-month live online for the instead of 4 months for the online paralegal that's asynchronous on your own, you get a total of 6 months. In that 6 months, you have your own instructor. So if you have questions, they can assist you, but you do have deadlines. So the 6 months, basically there's a deadline or two every week, and you have to keep up with this deadline. So it is up to each student to keep up with the information and the content and the quizzes and assignments. And that gives you that flexibility. If you need to do it on the weekend or weekdays, night times, daytimes, you can do that with the asynchronous online paralegal course. And then for those of you that already have your paralegal training or experience under your belt, and you're really looking to fine tune specific fields or specific skills in a specific field, we do have what's called our online paralegal concentration certificates. Now, these very much are focused on a specific area of law, immigration law, contract law, business law. I mean, you see them here on the screen. Basically, you would pick one of these sections. We will have to verify you are eligible. We do have some requirements, and we can cover those later on. But if you are qualified either with that experience or previous educational training, you can join those courses. Those are fully online, asynchronous as well. Now, typically the next question that I'm asked is the formats. And again, for this fall 2021 term, everything is fully online, live, or remote. So what that means is the live online, the class that starts September 21st, that is like a regular class just done through Zoom. The other option is the online asynchronous course where you have deadlines, you have your own instructor, but there's no live class time. It's basically when you're able to do it. Those are the available sections. Now, as far as pricing, that's usually my next question. How much these courses cost and what does it look like? Remember that the live online section, the first one there, that is with the instructor, about 4 months, twice a week. That is $59.95, $5,995. Now, the asynchronous online course that's basically with the deadlines and at your own pace, that is $69.95, so $6,995. And then lastly, for those of you that want that concentration, looking to fine tune those skills, that course is $29.95. And that one also starts on the first of each month, just like the asynchronous comprehensive course. Now, besides that, the dates that, and we've covered this, but the dates that are coming up for the fall term, the live online is September 21st. The paralegal online self-paced is on the first of the month, every month. And the concentration courses run the same, first of the month, every month. Now you can check out our website, which is continue.miami.edu/paralegal. That is where you can register. And I tell students registration is very simple. You just grab the course, you put in your shopping cart, and then you make a payment. All you have to do is create that account. And if you get stuck or have issues making that account or adding the course to your shopping cart, just give us a call. Let us know, 305-284-4000. We'd be happy to assist. As well, this is typically where we go into the Q&A section. So Tammy, this is where I can feed you some of these questions if you don't mind coming back off of mute. That way we can answer some of these questions that we have here. But those of you that are looking at the screen, you see our enrollment advisor and program manager's information. Feel free to write it down. Tammy, I do have a question here. We have a few kind of lined up. My first question for you, Tammy, if you don't mind me asking, is do you need to be a paralegal or is there any pre-requirements to join the program?
So no, there isn't, and that's a great question. Lots of people come to our program right out of high school, or they come after having a completely unconnected career in the legal field. The idea behind this program and the structure of this program is to teach you how to be a paralegal. So there's no prerequisite in terms of prior law office experience or legal training to enter our program. And the program is structured in such a way to enable you to be successful without any of that background knowledge. I also see a second question in the Q&A asking if it's a credit-based course to be able to transfer to a law degree. The program is not a credit-based traditional college program where you could transfer credits, and you wouldn't be able to transfer any credits to a law degree unless you were transferring from another law school. So law curriculum from a law school standpoint is law school level curriculum. So it's not a transferability from, like, for example, undergraduate or any paralegal program into law school to not have to take some law school specific classes. Thank you for those questions. They're great, important questions.
Yeah, and thank you for answering. And I hope that helped clarify for those questions. I do have another one here, Tammy, and it's pretty simple. I think we have a pretty clear answer. But in your experience, Tammy, is this program something that can be taken while you have a full-time position or job?
It's built specifically for you to be able to do so. So we understand and recognize that everybody has life obligations. Very few people are able to just go to school and focus on education. So it is intended and structured to be able to fit into the working life of any student taking the program. So it's chunked in a way that is manageable. It works in terms of progression, and the tools are there for you 24/7 to be able to come in and out of the virtual paralegal zone around your other obligations to be able to keep yourself moving forward. So great question, and of course, really important question, because you want to make sure that what you commit to is level set and manageable in the context of what everybody's life obligations are.
Yeah, exactly that. And I do see some other questions here regarding tuition and financial aid and options. So, and I think I'm going to take this one, Tammy. So just to clarify, as far as the options for covering the cost, typically there are three main options. So first option is you can pay in full. If you have the funds to pay for the program in full, you go to our website, you create an account, add the course to your shopping cart, and make that payment through the website. Now, as far as additional options, we do have a payment plan that is here in-house. Basically, it's $50 to set up, but you're not paying an increased rate. It's really just that tuition split up into typically about 4 to 6 monthly payments, depending on which section you do. And then as far as traditional financial aid, that is not available for these types of programs. Typically, that's reserved for credit-based or things like that. Really, it's that payment plan is going to be a good option, or you can secure a private educational loan from a bank or lender, and that could be any private educational loan that you're comfortable, a lender that you're comfortable with, your personal one, or maybe a new one altogether. I do have another question here, Tammy. It says, do I need a high level of proficiency in reading and writing? And do you need to know English? Let me add that.
So in terms of the material, it's all presented in English. It's not presented in any other language other than English. In terms of a reading proficiency level, it's written in a very readable way. And so if you are comfortable reading and comfortable writing in English, then you will be comfortable completing this program.
Perfect, perfect. And then I do have another one here. It asks about the requirements for assignments and things like that as far as research. So Tammy, can you maybe explain a little bit more as to the virtual clients and maybe the amount of research you would have to do for those type of assignments?
So there's not a lot of research that you are actually doing if you're asking about Lexis and Westlaw until you get to about chapter 18 of the foundations portion of the program, 17-18, when you're working on the brief. So that's where you'll be really digging into Lexis and Westlaw. All of the other preparation of the work that you're doing for your clients and all of the work that you're doing in the law blocks is based on the client information that you're given in your scenario and the templates that you're given. So between the learning in the ebook, the supplemental resources, and the information in the templates that are instructional in terms of preparation, that's what you need to be able to complete those assignments. So you're not taking all of those assignments and going into Lexis and Westlaw and doing extensive research. You don't learn how to do legal research until you're about halfway through the foundations portion of the program, because there's a lot you need to learn before you can learn legal research. And we understand that in terms of the way the material is presented and that building block learning approach that we take with the curriculum.
Perfect. And I do have one interesting question here. So, Tammi, can you maybe talk a little bit about the end of the shelf life of our students when they're ready to complete the program? Do we have a graduation ceremony? Do they get a certificate? Or can you explain a little bit more on how that all works?
So when you finish the University of Miami's Paralegal Certificate Program, you're issued a certificate from the division that shows that you've successfully completed the program. There is no graduation that's held for purposes of this program, but you do receive a certificate that you'll be able to include in your digital portfolio, and of course that you'll be able to showcase. You also have that digital portfolio access that you take with you, that you have the ability to update as well. And from a career preparation standpoint, to help you with things like interviewing and resumes and cover letters, that's covered as part of the program. So you'll work with your instructor on that.
Amazing. And thank you everybody for submitting those questions. If we did not get a chance to answer your question, well, I see someone just added one here. Let me see if we can answer it. Can I register for the concentration courses if I live in South America?
So the legal system is very different in South America in comparison to the United States. It's important to have that foundational knowledge to be able to move forward to a concentration. So that foundational knowledge that you get as part of the paralegal certificate program is really core to being able to understand the inner workings of the U.S. legal system and to understand the rules, so the substantive and procedural rules, and how to navigate through our laws. So I know there are definitely similarities, but there are also many differences. So that program would be a cornerstone foundation to being able to move forward to a concentration. And truthfully, it will be incredibly helpful to have the knowledge of that program. So some of it will definitely be redundant and reinforcement, but a lot of it will be completely new, and the skills that you'll be showcasing and the connections that you'll be making will definitely be different.
Amazing. And again, I just want to thank everybody for posting those questions. And
yeah, those
Tammi,
are great questions. Thank you for asking them.
Of course, yes, this was amazing, and I love hearing those. And those that may have questions and didn't put them in the function, or maybe have questions afterwards, please reach out to us. Our phone numbers and contact information has been on the screen. The main enrollment advisor for the program, his name is JC Garcia, 305-284-8841. His email is jxg1870@miami.edu. My name is Teddy Bolton. I'm also an enrollment advisor for one of many of our programs here. My phone number is 305-284-3049. My email is txb426@miami.edu. And as I mentioned, Tori Anderson is somebody that you'll be very close with once you join the program, but her information is there as well. I do want to thank everybody again for being here. Well, I apologize for that. And for those of you that are here and are attending live, we want to thank you by offering you a 10% tuition fee waiver for the paralegal certificate programs. And that waiver is basically something we can apply when you're ready to join. So how that's going to work, and to clarify that, again, to register for our courses, you go to our website. It's there on the screen, continue.miami.edu. You will create an account on our website. Once you have an account, you grab the course, you put it in your shopping cart, and then let us know. Let us know that you've created your account. Let us know that you're ready to join. That way we can apply that discount for you. Once we apply that discount, then you can make your payment. Your payment is what actually secures your seat. As a reminder, this was a recorded session. You will have access to this. I believe they'll send some information and it should be posted on a platform as well. So you will get access to this recording just within a few days. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. If you guys have questions, 305-284-4000. That's our main line, or our email is opa@miami.edu. Thank you, Tammy, and thank you, everybody that was here. Those of you that attended, we will send us a short survey at the end of this webinar. Please go ahead and put your information there. We do want to hear back. And beyond that, again, thank you so much. And we hope to see you in class soon. Bye.